just saw was a Yamaha 80 horsepower outboard motor in action. Now let's talk about this motor. Now here's something that some of you may not actually know. The upper end of this outboard is a 115 horsepower. In fact, on the serial number plate, it says it's an F115. The reason that it's an 80 horsepower is because of the jet pump. This lower unit jet pump reduces the horsepower down to 80. If I replace this with a prop, it would be back up to 115 horsepower. Now the way a jet pump works, it pulls water through the bottom up into this pump and pushes it out the back, as you saw in the video. And if you want to go backwards, if you want to go in reverse, this happens. That causes a reverse thrust, making your boat go backwards. Now I'm going to talk about something about the boat that helps the jet motor, but also slows it down even further. This boat has a tunnel hull in it. It's a hole cut up into the boat to bring water up to the jet pump. And that creates drag, which slows down the boat. Now this is a G3 18ccj, and there is a problem with this setup. When you're setting up a jet on a tunnel hull boat, you want the bottom of this flat with the tunnel hull, and this one is not. As you can see here, it's just a little bit lower than where it should be. Now when this was mounted, when it was equal to the bottom of the tunnel hull, the boat porpoised a lot. It just boom, boom, boom. It was really bad. I had to get the motor lowered to get rid of the porpoising. And the bad thing about lowering the motor is now it is below the bottom of the boat. So something could hit right here. Now my previous 17-foot jet boat, it had a Mercury 65 horsepower on it, and it was a 17-foot boat. That boat hull was built by Weld Built and then rebranded by a local who has a company called Green Marine. So it was a Green Marine boat. He buys the hulls from them and then builds them to however you want them. And on that boat, the Mercury was actually higher than the top of the tunnel hull. And what we had to do, we had to take a hammer to this top part to beat it up so it could get more water to the jet pump. And it worked really well on that boat. The bottom of the jet pump, the intake, was nowhere near the bottom of the boat, unlike this setup. I really don't know why it's like this. Maybe adding pods would fix it. However, it's still much higher than a prop, because a prop would go all the way down here below the boat. And if you get in 6 inches of water with an 8-inch, clearance on the prop, you're going to shave the bottom of the prop off. So this boat can still get in 6 inches of water. If you hit a rock on the hull, you're going to hit it on the bottom of the jet pump. Now I do think that this boat can get in skinnier water than that other boat could. That other boat did have a little bit of like a 3-degree hull, while this one is completely flat. That is one of the reasons why some of you that are actually watching my other videos see that the boat is a little bit unstable, and it's just because it's a perfectly flat boat with a heavy motor that's really high. And that high center of gravity makes it a little bit more wishy-washy than, what people really like. That includes myself. I'd rather have a more stable boat. However, if you want to get in 6 inches of water, this is what you want. Now I'm going to show you something else about jet motors. After every time that you take a jet outboard out, you have to put grease in the lower unit. Right there. It's usually in the same spot for them all. It's usually a pump or two. 1, 2. You gotta do that every single time. And gotta clean it up, put it back together. This is different than the prop, because on a prop you have oil in the lower unit, and you have to change that oil out maybe once a season or after a certain amount of hours. Now another thing you may not know about jet outboards is that they take more gas than having a prop. A 90 horsepower prop on this boat would probably be less than half the gas that this thing eats. You have to remember, this is a 115, and when you're running a jet on the lake, you're at max throttle all the time. Now hopefully I'll be able to fix a few things on the boat and get it back out on the water again. I am really anxious to get on the water again, even if it is cold. I want to see if I can catch something big in a future video for you guys and for myself. As always, I want to thank you guys for taking your time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate it. And if you would do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up to show that you like this video. I may not be fishing, but this is something that is a little bit fishing related. And this time, I don't have any bonus footage. On that Mercury 150 video, I did have bonus video of a high mileage Mercury 150. And that Mercury 150 has 1,000 hours or more on it now. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a follow-up video of that Mercury 150. The one that has over 1,000 hours on it now. That is Milton Hill Bill's motor, and he's still using it. And it's on a bigger boat now, a 26-foot boat. It was on a 24-foot boat, a 2472 MV. Now hopefully, I can end this skunk drought. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.